Hi, and welcome to An Actor's Library. I am Carlise Burke, and today I am reviewing the book I Do The Marriage of Ministry and Music by Byron Cage. This young man, look at that face, ain't he fine? Ain't he fine? He is a musician, a minister of music, as his book depicts, but he is also a musician in his own right. I believe he has 10 CDs out there, and I love his songs. I love his voice. I follow him on all social media. Hadn't seen him for a while, but I think he's back now, or maybe I wasn't looking at the right social media. And I was very excited to read this book because I have a friend that is a minister of music of the church that I grew up in. And one day he made a comment about the pastor, which made me think that there might have been some dissension there. But I never got the full story. And I was confused. How could there possibly be dissension between the minister of music and the minister of the church? That didn't sit well with me at all. But I didn't want to be nosy and I didn't want to ask questions. And so when I heard about this book and Byron's description of it, about how sometimes there is a fine line between the relationship, love and hate and marriage and all of that between music and the ministry, I thought this would be a great way to understand what my friend was talking about. So I bought my friend a copy of the book and myself a copy of the book, and we had like a little two-person book club to help me understand better what my friend was talking about. Well, I have to say, I was not crazy about this book, and I'm so disappointed because I wanted to like it so much. I wanted to get something out of it. I wanted to glean some information that would help me understand. Maybe I wanted a little bit of juice, a little bit of gossip, a little something, but that's not what this book is about. As a matter of fact, it feels very safe. It feels apologetic. It seems like maybe there was some dissension along the way. Mr. Cage has been the minister of music in many churches, according to this book. But I didn't really get that there was anything wrong. It seemed like he was being very respectful and loyal to the ministers that he worked for, because he's hired by the ministers of the churches that he worked in. And aside from two incidences that seemed a little odd, he didn't go into any depth. I talked to my friend, the one who was the minister of music in the church that I grew up in, and he felt the same way that I did about the book. He had a very good point that there was no conflict. A lot of times, what interests a reader is an arc. Take us on a journey, take us somewhere. Things can be wonderful. Somewhere something goes wrong and there's a conflict, and then you have to figure your way out of it. And that's not what happened in this book. My friend said that his experience that got me to be interested in this book in the first place was nowhere near the same experience that this young man had. I don't know why. It could just be a different era, different age group, different types of ministry. My friend that I'm talking about, this took place in a Baptist church. Mr. Cage seems to be more from a Pentecostal. He's also a musician in his own right, very well known before, during, and after he left the churches he worked for. So that may have something to do with why my friend couldn't necessarily relate to this book. The biggest takeaway, ironically, that I got from it as an actress, which surprised me, was on page 95, where Byron talked about trying to become friendly with one of the ministers that he worked for. And the minister told him, "I didn't hire you to be my friend. I hired you to do a job." And for me, that was a light bulb, because so many times I have gone on set so happy and so grateful to be there that I want to make friends with everybody, and I'm trying to build the relationship while I'm on the job. And that's not how it works. I was hired to do a particular job, and that's all I need to worry about while I'm there on the job. The rest will take care of itself, or it won't. So I really appreciate that, Byron. Do I love your music, Byron? Absolutely, I do. Do I love this book? I hate to say it, but I don't.